Oh, hey, we are back. Yes, we are. I don't know what was that. We've been laughing for like 5 minutes, and
Uh,
there's no reason for it. But we are here. We are back to talk about movies, review the movies that we've seen in May 2021. We are kind of back to normality, kind of.
are we?
I mean, we are
What
close
was
to
the
be
normality?
open. We are close to be open everywhere.
Oh, you mean
Theaters.
that? I mean our mental state is
Our mental
close to
state is
normality.
always in normality. But yeah, welcome to the stream. We are back. It's been a while. It's been, I mean, the
A
last
month.
a month. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, for that. But I think the last thing that we streamed was this thing, or was it
Yeah, this thing. It
Falcon?
was this thing. No, it was this thing.
No,
Oh no!
I don't know. I don't
Wait,
remember. I honestly don't
wait
remember.
a second. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Me
think it
neither.
was this thing. I think it was this thing.
But yeah, we are here to talk about movies we've seen in May 2021. We are gonna do, of course, we're gonna talk about movies, some TV shows that we've seen. So yeah, hello, say something in the chat if you're here. If you're not gonna say anything, well, that's great as well. And next week, at least I am gonna start back streaming for Loki. I don't know if our schedules are gonna be are gonna be the way. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if
If we'll both
be
have
on the
clear
stream.
schedules.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's right. So if we will be able to stream together for a Loki series, we will do that. If not, it's gonna be just me to do recaps like we did for Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. But yeah, why did you write chips in the
You
stream
said
chat?
write something in
Okay,
the
yeah,
chat.
let's chips it is. But yeah, it looks like we are gonna be very soon back to normality. Theaters are gonna be open probably in the next 2 weeks. It seems, which is good because I want to see movies in the theater. It's been a while. It's been what, like half a year? I
Been a
think
while, yeah, from the middle of October.
October. Yeah, I think so. And I want to see like A Quiet Place Part 2. I want to see Black Widow in the
I want to
theaters.
see Spiral.
Spiral,
I want
yeah,
to see
sure, yeah,
Spiral.
sure. I want to see Spiral as well, even though I don't care about Saw franchise at all, and I've seen only the first one. But yeah, we are here to talk about movies, and let's do it. Photoshop is gonna be on right now. We have, I think, 13 movies. I think so, and 2 TV shows, if I remember
Oh
correctly.
wow, wow.
So it's been quite a productive month for movies. There's been quite a few movies. Some of them are gonna be just shite, probably off the freaking tier list because they were so bad.
Uh huh.
But let's first talk about the movie that is here, so big. Rat of Man, Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie. Tell us your thoughts, Matit.
It's a movie, yeah.
Oh, great.
And we watched it. It's good. What do I say? I don't know. I forgot how to do this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed this one. It surprised me quite a bit. I thought based on the trailers it's just going to be a shoot 'em up action flick, but it is quite similar to Guy Ritchie's style from his previous movies. So yeah, it surprised me quite nicely. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I completely agree with Matitz. I think everybody was kind of expecting a straight up shoot 'em up action flick, but it's much more than that. It explores like the background of the characters, the world that this movie is living in, and I really did appreciate it. I think it was really well shot, really well directed, really well acted. So I already knew I'm gonna like this movie, but I think that because it surprised me on some levels that I didn't expect, it was even better than I expected. So I would say it's really good. This movie.
I would say so too.
What
What?
what was that sentence? I would say so too.
Yeah, I would say so also. It was correct. You just listen to me, boy. That's enough.
Wrath of Man goes in really good. Next movie on the list is Woman in the Window.
Oh, you're gonna go from the right. Okay.
Yeah, because they are like in Photoshop like that. Woman in the Window, movie that should have been out since
2 years ago.
2019, I think.
Yeah. No.
I think it had the first release date. The cast, absolutely amazing. Amy Adams, Gary Oldman, Anthony Mackie, Brian Tyree Henry, Julianne Moore. Who else? The guy who played
White Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yeah. And this movie is about a woman that has agoraphobia, so she's afraid to go outside, and she witness a murder, and then stuff happens.
Yeah.
This movie, I would say, is better than I expected, but it's still not good. I would say so.
I'm very indifferent with this. This movie was just kind of like it kind of exists now. I like ever since I did that first trailer reaction year and a half ago. I was like, yeah, this is my kind of movie. This looks intriguing. But then hearing all the mixed things about it, and then finally watching it, I was like, I guess it's watchable. I'm not sure.
I would say it's watchable. I think especially the first half is intriguing, but then it kind of gets, it just falls down. I don't know from where.
Yeah.
I think it is directed pretty well. I would say, at least that.
At times.
At times. At least that. I think Joe Wright directed this one. And
you think he directed it?
I think he did. I mean, this movie has been reshot like a couple of times, so it's really hard.
Yeah, I think that the guy who did Rogue One reshoots actually reshot this one.
So who knows what happened with that movie? I mean, acting is good because you've got great actors in it, but it was a mess from start to beginning.
From start to beginning.
Oh,
wow.
from start to oh my god,
that's a saying.
It's been a month since we've done this, so it's gonna be weird. But I would say pass. I don't think you need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It kind of leaves you in the dark for a little too long, and then the payoff is kind of generic, so it kind of misses the mark.
Yes, yeah, it is. It is what it is.
From what I hear, the book is much better.
Probably. The majority of books that are made into movies are better than movies on its own. Without Remorse, a movie that we almost put into our last stream, but we just haven't seen it. And it is the first movie that we've seen in May. And this is like a new start to a potential franchise. Jack Ryan, like Tom Clancy, all those things. This movie, it's kind of forgettable. Now that I think about it, it's kind of forgettable. Yes, Michael B. Jordan is good. Some of the action sequences are really good, but it's just forgettable. I think that is the biggest problem of this movie.
Yeah, it didn't do much for me. I think that the start is very promising, but then it just every turn it takes, it starts going downhill for me. There are moments where I don't know what they were thinking, because there are moments where you could make this story very personal for our main character, but they decide to kind of like detach it from the personal reasons.
Yeah.
And it just kind of you stop caring, because like the main character doesn't really care, so it's it's kind of a mess for me. I do think that Michael B. Jordan is really good, and some action stuff in this is quite good and well filmed, but overall, not the biggest fan of this one.
So they do set up this movie to a potential franchise. You've got a post-credit scene. Do you think it's gonna happen? No. Yeah, me neither. I think that this movie, even though it was written by Taylor Sheridan, who is co-written, and we are gonna talk about another Taylor Sheridan movie quite soon in this tier list. I don't know. I like generic action movies, but this one was just
I would go between pass and average.
I think it has some moments that are like that show potential for the future and show potential to what a good movie would look like. And as Matit said, I think that if they would go more emotional route and don't they just detach themselves from what actually happened in the movie, at the beginning. So yeah, problematic, pass average somewhere over here.
We have viewers from Brazil.
Yeah, Francesco Viceski. Oh, I'm sorry. Probably mispronounced. And Matisse is here as well. Another Matisse.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are great. Well, we try. We'll try. You are great for saying that. Moving on.
We have to have these next two together.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much, Mario.
We're gonna talk about some real shite now. And they are back to back because you have to talk about shite back to back.
I mean, it doesn't really stop for quite a bit of next movie.
Yeah, I would say the month of May wasn't the best month for movies. If you look at this movie that we have here. But the next movie we are going to talk about, Voyagers. Starring, as you can see on the poster, Ty Sheridan, Lily Rose Depp, Fionn Whitehead, and Colin Farrell. And this movie has been marketed as Colin Farrell movie. Don't worry, it's not. And I think that this movie just like proved that Ty Sheridan is one of the worst actors in Hollywood right now.
Yeah, it's he has the blandest face and no charisma whatsoever. And like after watching this, like I made you watch Mud, which is the first movie that I saw Ty Sheridan in.
Yeah.
And that's like the only movie that I like him in. But here, the Voyagers, it was just annoying. I just could not stand that movie.
This movie is about this. How to even explain this movie? I mean, they go to some other planet where they're gonna like start a new civilization, and these people are programmed to be as some people wanted them to be. I think
they're programmed to be neutral.
They don't have feelings. They don't have feelings. And then they decide to stop like taking pills, and they start getting feelings, and some of them are bad, some of them are good. But that doesn't help at all. This movie is just bland, boring, weird dialogue, weirdly directed. Colin Farrell is in this movie, but it's not about him at all, even though the trailer seems like it. So this, I would put this out of the list, just because.
No, we'll put it in shite.
It's so shite that even shite is too good for this shite.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But what are you gonna do with the next one then? Oh. Jesus Christ.
We just talked about shite, but wait, we're gonna talk about something that is even a bigger shite than Voyagers is. Vanquish, starring one and only Ruby Rose and Morgan Freeman, written by the writer that wrote Bad Boys. That doesn't help this movie at all.
No, and this movie was shot for a budget of one Monster energy drink.
Yeah,
and it kind of like hurts. I can't express it. I don't know how to exhale these feelings now, because this isn't a movie.
Every single year you get a movie that just shouldn't be a movie, and this movie it's not a movie.
I can't believe how we why did we even finish it?
I don't know. Because this is worse than Thunder Force, and we haven't finished Thunder Force.
Yeah, this is like the worst movie I've seen in years.
This is like, imagine a film student who kind of hates movies, and it's pressured to make a movie for for a class or something, and this student creates something, and it would be this. I don't know how in hell they brought Morgan Freeman into this movie. I kind of get why Ruby Rose is in this movie, because nobody wants to work with Ruby Rose. But Morgan Freeman, who is a legend in Hollywood, legend in movies in general, and oh my god, this is beyond shite. This is yeah, it just shouldn't be a movie. Unfortunately, it is. If there would be a
Yeah.
category like below shite, it would go there, but it goes into shite because it's
Yeah,
just
it has nothing. It doesn't look like a movie. It's shot like the cameras that they use are so. It just looks so freaking awkward and
and
lame and.
and also anybody who knows anything about editing, in Adobe Premiere or any editing software, you've got those dissolve transitions.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a lot of dissolve in this movie.
Yeah, I was talking to while we were watching it. Like it seemed like it. They had it like cross dissolve. They had on manual, and they didn't know how to turn it off.
Yeah,
So just in the middle of a scene, like cut between the two people having conversation, cross dissolves are happening. Like what is going on?
yeah. I don't know what happened to this movie, who created this movie, and why this movie exists. It shouldn't. And this is gonna be for sure on our top 10 worst movies of 2021 because it's just so bad.
I would. There's no way we see worse movie than
I mean,
this year.
Voyagers at least looks like a movie, and
Yeah.
somebody who has like at least a feeling how to create a movie made Voyagers. Whoever made Vanquish doesn't know anything about movies.
Well, Voyagers is directed by the guy who directed like Limitless and like The Upside recently.
Well, I don't
Like, he made
know
some movies.
what was he doing here, but he made Voyagers. Anyway, moving on to the next movie, and it is a movie that I said like
Oh,
pretty
this one?
confidently that I'm gonna watch. When I'm gonna watch this, I'm probably gonna love it. Yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. This I was so hyped. We both were very hyped for this movie. Why? Well, it's directed and written by Taylor Sheridan, which we both love because he made so many great movies and written some of like one of our favorite movies.
Yeah, I mean, he made one movie before. He has written.
Yeah,
a lot
but
of-
Wind River is amazing.
yeah,
And
it
he
is.
created Yellowstone. So, and Yellowstone is really good as well. And it also stars Angelina Jolie, Nicholas Hoult, Aidan Gillen, and John Bernthal. But this movie, because I was expecting something like amazing, the best movie of the year, yeah, it's not there. It's not even close. It is very generic, which I was really surprised to see Taylor Sheridan make, because he so far, whenever he has written something or directed like Wind River, it wasn't generic. It was far from generic, but this one was really generic. I wouldn't say it's bad. It just didn't fulfilled my expectations. I would say that.
Yeah, it's gonna blend. It's gonna
Yeah.
blend.
It's a movie that you're gonna watch and you're gonna be like, oh, it's an okay movie. But if you know his resume before this movie, you would be like, oh, really? He made this one?
Yeah,
So it is a disappointing. I would say average.
yeah.
It's
an epic movie.
it is a watchable movie, and
Yeah,
performances
It's
are
fun.
good.
It's fun to watch.
It's
Yeah, I
fun
watched
to
it
watch,
twice. I watched it twice, but it doesn't really do much. Angelina is fine in it. Like those two hitman characters are kind of. But if you want to hear more from us about this, you have a reaction for this.
Yeah, so go watch it. It's on my channel. Didn't do well, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
But if you want to see our reaction, it's on my channel. So go see that. Moving on to another shite, unfortunately.
Well,
The Unholy, starring, oh my god, what's
Jeffrey-
it? Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Dean
Dean
Morgan.
Morgan.
Movie that we've seen quite recently, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
something like that. Yeah.
A horror movie produced by Sam Raimi. That doesn't
It
help at all.
doesn't. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just on a poster. That's why I mentioned it. Yeah, this movie is shite.
It's really bad. At first, for the first like 5 or 10 minutes, it shows potential because the camera work isn't that bad, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan is quite likable in it. But like what they start doing with the story and the character motivations and just the scares, It's just a very generic horror movie with a bunch of jump scares, and it doesn't really work. And the end monster looks really like clunky.
Yeah,
It's
you
weird.
kind of see the lack of big budget, like not 200 millions, but it
Yeah,
shows like at times that the CGI is really bad. The story, like Matit said, yeah, not the best. And I think that generic horror movies just don't work anymore. Like in recent years, or let's say in the last decade, we've got some of the best horror movies ever made. So this type of movies just don't work anymore because
yeah, but
people.
we were also getting stuff like this. So,
Yeah, but still, I think that horror movies in general are quite successful because the budget is so low.
and also, if this would have been made like 7 years ago, it would most definitely be a found footage movie. Because of him being a reporter and
Yeah,
stuff. I
probably.
think it would be like that.
But like I was saying, I don't think that generic horror movies are gonna work. They have to be really good generic horror movies to work. In general, horror movies are quite successful. Like I said, the budget is low for them, which means even if not a lot of people go see it, the majority of them are profitable. But this one, yeah, I don't see people going to the theaters watching this. The reviews for it are not good, and it's just not good. It just is. It isn't good.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's
And some stuff that they say towards the end, like some explanations, are
yeah,
just
just
plain ridiculous and hilarious. Just it's so stupid.
yeah. The story goes bananas, and you cannot get behind it. So it goes.
Put it in shite.
Yeah, let's
It's a
put it
shite.
in shite. Let's put it in shite. Pa pa pa. Next movie, Monster, starring. What's your name? God damn it! What's your name?
Kevin something?
Kevin something.
Kevin something Junior.
Yeah, something Junior. Calvin. Calvin. I think it's Calvin Harris
It's on the
Jr.
poster. Just scale the poster in.
Yeah, but it gets so
It
blurry,
gets fixed.
pixelated as hell. Jeffrey Wright, Calvin Harrison Jr.
Kevin
I think it's
Harrison
Calvin
Jr.
Harrison Jr. Something like
Calvin. Yeah.
Monster, a movie that also had to be released in 2019, I think.
I think it's 2018 actually.
Or yeah, I think it debuted on Sundance 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
And then studios were fighting for this movie, who's gonna release it, and nobody, I don't know, found like bought this movie, or I don't know what happened. And then it ended up on Netflix, and
Yeah.
this one surprised me. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's an okay movie, and it's definitely like to release it in these days. It is a little more topical, a little more appropriate time to release this kind of movie. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this. I really liked the second half of this. I liked how they kind of like did stuff towards the end.
Yeah, I think it's really well acted. I think all the performances, especially by Calvin Harrison Jr., are absolutely great. I think the story really works. I like that the ending doesn't really tell you the like you don't really know what actually happened for like 100%. It kind of is what's the word? Not ambivalent, ambiguous,
Uh,
ambiguous ending.
Ambivalent.
Ambivalent. I don't know what why did I say that.
Yeah.
So this is a movie that is really serious, like Matit said, very topical. And I would recommend this movie. I think it's a really good movie, and a movie that it's very accessible now on Netflix. And thankfully Netflix bought this, because I don't know if we would ever be able to see this movie, at least here in
Yeah.
Slovenia. So yeah, great movie. I would say really good. I would go.
I would go between average and really good.
Okay, let's put it there. Okay, I can agree with that. Over here, Omar said you forgot Spiral. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we need to see Spiral. It was only in theaters, and they're closed for now.
Yeah, we are probably gonna get it now in June, probably.
I have no idea.
Next movie, Mainstream, starring Andrew Garfield, Alex Wolf,
Mahawk,
Nat Wolf,
Netwolf, and Mahawk. Yeah.
and Mahawk. Um, yeah, interesting movie, I would say. Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
think Andrew Garfield is amazing in this movie.
Yeah, he's spectacular in this, and he just nails it. It's for such a ridiculous movie. He really just he commits to this 100%, and he's by far the best part of this.
Yeah, this movie, I I think that the writers and directors were trying to say a lot of stuff, and they kind of got too big for their own good. I think they were trying too much stuff, and at the end it didn't work. And you were just looking at a crazy person going so far that it's so ridiculous that you cannot get behind the character's motivation and why is he doing that. Even though, like we both said, Andrew Garfield is amazing in this movie, like absolutely amazing, and he sells the character so well. But it just gets so weird and so out there that I want.
Yeah, and it's kind of it becomes very simplistic, I would say. Stuff just happens like all of a sudden, and people who made this, I don't think they really researched how
Yeah, they
real
didn't
social
really
media works.
they didn't really think about what they were trying to say, because
Yeah,
the topics this movie deals with are very important and very, like, yeah, just important topics that people should talk about. But the way
yeah.
this movie portrays them, it is not the best way to portray them. But if you
Hmm.
want to see Andrew Garfield going bananas, watch this movie because he's
Yeah.
amazing at it. But I would say, like, between average and pass.
I would go pass.
Let's put it between average and pass, because I think
Okay.
that because of his performance, you should watch this movie. But for everything
Yeah.
else, not so much. Next movie we've seen yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I think so. And it is the one and only Cruella, starring Emma Stone. Yeah, take it away, Matitz.
Uh, I don't know what to say about this. I'm so whatever on this movie because, like, watching the first trailer, it surprised me, and I was like, "Yeah, this looks good." Then watching the second trailer, I was like, "This is pretty much the same as that first one. Is there gonna be anything more?" But it's not really anything more for me. It's just kind of out there, and it did absolutely nothing for me. Emma Stone's good. Emma Thompson is good. Has some good camera work, but overall kind of dull movie, at least for me.
Yeah, it's. We were talking about this movie when we were watching it. I feel that this movie would work much better if another studio would do it.
Yeah.
And just because of Disney restrictions for going full on crazy and full on bananas. I don't know why I'm saying bananas so many times today.
Well, you're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan of bananas. But like Matit said, Emma Stone is really good. Emma Thompson is really good. I like Paul Walter Hauser. I think it's amazing in this movie. One thing is for sure, it's too long. This movie should be like hour and 40 minutes. It's 2 hour and 15 minutes, which is
Yeah.
too long for sure. At times, it feels like you're watching a music video, not a movie, because the movie is constantly like having a song after song after song, and you're like, it doesn't add up to the story. It's just confusing and distracting. One thing that is brilliant, I would say, is costume design and production design. I think both of those divisions did an amazing job. But I feel like that because it's Disney, they I respect Disney for trying something new and different. Go with a character study, going a bit darker, a bit crazier, but because they have restriction how dark and how crazy they can go, it kind of limits and hurts this movie to go more like,
Uh,
because this is so clearly Joker inspired, so clearly Suicide Squad inspired. We were saying we felt like we were watching a DC movie, but Disney made it.
Yeah, especially that Joker inspired point.
I
Yeah, they
mean,
even play a song from the
the
Joker
trailer,
trailer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you've got this person who is very like on the outskirts of society. Nobody likes her, and she's very talented. And then she kind of goes into madness. But because Disney cannot go so into madness, she's kind of an anti-hero. So yeah, it's not. And then they also feel like they need to set up a sequel, and they do because it has a post-credit scene. But yeah, I think they kind of missed with this movie. I respect them for trying something new, and I think we are kind of in minority. People quite like this movie. At least what I saw on Twitter and IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. But for me and for Matisse, it just didn't do what Craig Gillespie was trying to do.
Yeah.
So I would go into between pass and average. It's there. Yeah, it's here. Talking about DC movies, even though it's not a DC movie. Army of the Dead. Oh, I press Halston. I don't mean Halston. Army of the Dead. New Zack Snyder movie on Netflix.
Best movie of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently the most successful movie on Netflix ever. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I dislike this movie a lot.
Yeah, it's not pretty good, huh?
I wouldn't say I hate it because I don't hate it. But this movie, I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. I sometimes when people like a movie that I don't like, I'm like, okay, I understand why you like it, but it just didn't work for me. In this case, I don't understand why people like this movie. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I see it.
It's not fun. It's not even fun.
But it tries to be so fun. It really struggles at that, I would say. I didn't like any of the characters. I thought it was shot very average, and visual effects at times were not that special.
Yeah, but we've got a tiger.
Oh yeah, it had some cool moments, some entertaining moments, but it's 2.5 hours long, and it should be like hour and a half or hour 40.
Yeah. Like Matit said, characters are really disappointing. Didn't care about a single character. I think that Zack Snyder's direction is okay, but he shouldn't be a cinematographer.
Yeah.
He was a cinematographer on this movie. The way he uses like shallow depth, how shallow the focus is, it was so distracting and so weirdly used.
It's like the end scene in Snyder Cut with the Joker. The entire movie looks like this.
I mean, you look at like it's a close-up of a person, and because he used such a shallow depth of field, the person is not in focus on some parts of his like face.
Just staying in one spot and saying a word would put that person out of focus because it's so shallow. Just like 1 inch behind or forward, it just fucks up the focus completely.
And a lot of the dialogue and a lot of movie is handheld, which I don't like at all. With such a shallow depth of field is even more distracting because, like Matit said, focus is all over the place. You're watching a dialogue and focus is changing from frame to frame, which is so bad. Like Matit said, there were a few moments, especially like 2 deaths, I would say, were quite great and well done. But overall, I honestly don't understand what is good about this movie. What is so good about this movie. And even the story, I like the concept of the story. I think that the concept is not bad. I think that
but they don't utilize it. Like, why does it have to be Vegas? They don't make it a thing. Like it's just a setting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
They
sure.
don't use it. They don't use it.
They don't use it. That's true. And also, like making smart zombies, and
Uh,
they are not really smart, to be completely honest. They are just like they don't feel as dumb as other zombies that are just
and if that
sprinting.
one zombie found a way to climb on the Statue of Liberty or whatever that is in Vegas, like
Yeah.
it's a replica, right? Why didn't they figure out how to climb those containers and stuff? Like it's so weird, and they try to also make it topical with the refugees, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Out the walls, and it becomes so just it becomes too much. And the other character, is it Ella Purnell, the actress?
Ella Purnell, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's so freaking annoying, and just like because of her, just a lot of the movie just goes off the rails.
And
And I would
also,
say like the last 20 minutes I thought were the strongest, but they should happen like at 1 hour and 20 mark and not at 2 hours and 10 minutes mark.
true that. And also, a lot of the characters are just so cliche, like characters that you see in all the generic action movies.
Yeah.
Like you've got that bubbly guy who doesn't know anything, but then at the end he is useful. Then you've got a few buff guys. You've got a strong woman that kicks some ass.
Comic relief.
Comic relief. Like the leader. The leader has a daughter who is not important, even though the story makes her important.
And heavy past.
Yeah,
There is some trauma
it
from.
is so generic, so cliche, so badly executed. And I always say that directors, writers, and filmmakers in general have to be a little bit pretentious about their work, because I feel like if they don't believe in the work they're making, nobody will. But this movie feels so pretentious that I was like,
Yeah, it felt like a Michael Bay movie at times. Yeah, and do you want to talk about the opening credits?
yeah, let's talk about them. And they're shite.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with the stuff they shot for opening credits. Like it's pretty well like edited and like it's very stylish, but the titles, the font choice and the
The
color
color.
choice, it doesn't work at all. It's like over the entire screen, and it's just distracting. And
I mean,
I can't even imagine watching that title sequence on the big screen. It would be even more like what?
yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder is famous for his visual style, and he's like very a visual director. You can feel the way he is trying, with the help of visuals, to kind of emphasize what the story is. And I, I mean, in this movie, the only thing that was kind of that I felt like, oh, this is Zack Snyder was slow motions.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Everything else was, I mean, yeah, just, I don't get it. People are loving this movie. And I mean, I like Zack Snyder. I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm a huge fan of 300, Dawn of the Dead, is
Watchmen,
Watchmen.
Man
But
of Steel.
yeah, I mean, all of his movies, in my opinion, until now, were good or great, I would say.
Yeah, I need to rewatch Sucker Punch, and then I
I
will
haven't seen
decide
Sucker
which.
Punch.
Yeah, well, I don't know if which one I like less, like this or Sucker Punch. But this Sucker Punch has like his signature style, and it looks better. But this is weird.
This was disappointing on every single level. I love zombie movies. If
Yeah,
if you have like fast zombies, not the movie with Bill Murray and Adam Driver. I didn't like that movie.
yeah.
What was it? I don't know.
The something dead.
Yeah, I mean, they're always something dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't like, but so I was excited because I feel like visual style of Zack Snyder and his direction and characters and zombies and all of those things. I, I I like the idea. At the end, and the end product, it's just I I I think I'm never gonna see this movie again. I don't recommend it. I'm not gonna show it to anybody,
yeah.
because it's just, I know it's easy accessible, but 2.5 hours is too long.
It just goes on, and people are saying it like passes really quickly. I felt the
We were
runtime.
struggling. We were watching this movie together, and we were struggling. I was like, "Oh my god, is this movie gonna go somewhere?" And it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And also another thing, let's talk about Tig Notaro, who replaced Chris D'Elia. I think, yeah, her performance is good in the movie, but people say it's so like you don't even,
Seamless.
yeah, so seamless, and you don't even notice that she was on the green screen the whole time and never
At
interacted with any of the other actors.
yeah,
It's
at
not
times.
at
Yeah,
times,
at times it looks really good,
but
but there are other times where the
the
lighting is very off.
yeah. So I think that I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like this movie is like just kissing Zack Snyder's ass
Yeah,
in a way. And like I said, we both love his version of Zack Snyder, like Justice League.
well, I can see like I can see really loving this movie if like Zack Snyder would be showing it to me.
Yeah,
Zack
with him
Snyder like invites
talking.
me to his theater and he's like, "Look, this is the movie that we made," and he would be like explaining me all the stuff. I'd be like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool." Yeah.
And and also I don't understand why do we need a prequel for a character that I'm not gonna say anything. I almost said it.
Yeah.
We don't need a prequel, and also we are getting a sequel that is gonna be animated because apparently it would cost 300 millions to make a movie. Why do we need a universe for this movie? I don't care.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
weird.
and people were like, "Oh, zombie animals! We got a horse and a tiger."
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah, yeah, people are making such a big deal out of things that are so just whatever here. Like opening sequence. Oh my god, please Zach, tell us about that opening sequence. Well, it's an opening sequence like any I mean, it's nothing special. Oh, tell us about Zombie Tiger. Yeah, it's cool for like 2 minutes,
Yeah,
but
the problem is that when people love somebody's work, cannot get over the fact that sometimes their work is just not as good as all the previous work. I mean,
yeah.
I love and adore David Fincher. Well,
Hmm.
Mank wasn't for me. And
Yeah.
I feel it's not a good movie. I'm sure that some people like it, and I'm sure that it goes the same for Army of the Dead. But I think that people just cannot like realize that sometimes some things just
Yeah.
don't work. I would say,
Yeah, that their favorite director can't make a bad movie.
yeah. And once again, we're in minority, but I think that I don't understand. I just don't understand why people love this movie so much. But if you know why, let us know in the chat. We would really like to know why this movie is so good.
Yeah, pass,
Pass, yeah.
pass.
Let's. This movie you can pass. It's so long. No need to watch it. Watch Zack Snyder's Justice League again.
Oh,
It's much better.
that one goes by faster.
Oh yeah, and it's 4 hours.
Mm.
Hi Marlon. Hi, welcome to the stream.
Hey.
And now we've got two shows that we've watched. Halston is the first one.
I didn't watch the other one.
Let's okay. Then I'm gonna talk quickly about Love, Death, and Robots. This is a second season animated anthology TV show on Netflix. Volume 3 is coming out next year. The first volume had 15 episodes. Volume 2 had 8. And I liked it. I really did like it. It's created by Tim Miller, Fincher, and somebody else, I think. And some of the stories are absolutely amazing, and I would really like to see like spin-off shows just from that episode. Episodes are like 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes long. I would say the first volume was better, not just because it had more episodes, but I think that the stories that we've got in the first season were better. But I think that in second season they went more deep in characters. They really try to emphasize the philosophy of life how we're living, what is afterlife, and those type of things. So I really did enjoy it. So I would go into really good. I'm very excited for Volume 3 um, next year. So yeah, I would say really good. I recommend it.
Yeah, I watched one episode from the first season, and like a friend showed it to me, the werewolf one. I don't know, thought the animation was cool. So I'll check out both seasons someday.
And now the last one, TV show Halston, about a guy who was kind of like the pioneer of what like designers,
Fashion design.
fashion designers are right now. Like he was one of the first, like, who made his name known, and everybody was like, if somebody was wearing some like clothing, oh, this is a Halston, and he was like the pioneer of that. Like now, I mean, Calvin Klein, Gucci, and all those things.
No.
I didn't know about Halston before this show. I didn't know anything about it.
Me neither.
We didn't even know about the show existing before. Like,
I heard about it.
yeah, I watched
Like,
an interview with Ewan McGregor on Jimmy Kimmel or on some talk show, and he was talking about it. And I saw the trailer and I was like, limited series. This looks amazing. Ewan McGregor is great, and this show is amazing. I think that Ewan McGregor will get nominated for not Golden Globe, because there's no Golden Globes anymore, but for an Emmy.
yeah, he's really good in this.
It's amazing. I think the story is amazing, and the show as a whole. Even if you're not like really into fashion or anything, it's much more of a character study and how he got his name to to fame, and how he kind of, because of the fame, fell off and all those things. And it's 5 episodes, really well directed, and it flows really well, and it's kind of like a character study of the character. What did you think about the show?
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. I think that Ewan McGregor is like the highlight, and the woman who plays Liza Minnelli is. I thought she was fantastic in this.
She's great, yeah.
Yeah, and it's an interesting character study. Yeah, it's a good look into his life. You know, we don't know how much it's factual, but I mean, it's based on a true story. So it's good. It's like interesting to see all those rises and falls. Yeah, a lot of cigarettes, and that's it.
Yeah, go watch it. It's amazing. And like I said, even if you're not into fashion, it's not really about that, but it's about somebody who was really talented, got his fame, and then kind of falls off, and then gets his comeback. So it's really interesting. It's a really interesting show that nobody knew beforehand, and now maybe with the help of Netflix and Ewan McGregor, people will remember and know who Halston was. So I would say this is the best thing we've seen in May. I would go into sick. I love this show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I would say really good.
Okay, then let it goes in between, like that. So yeah, we ranked, tier listed, reviewed all the things we've seen in May. Wasn't the best month for movies, we would say. If I look at this list, I would say I really enjoyed, and I would like rewatch it, like 4 out of 15 things that we have on this list.
Okay.
I think that even though Monster is a really tough topic and a really dramatic movie, I would still rewatch it.
I don't know about that one.
Wrath of Man is one of those movies that I'm gonna watch like 10 times probably.
That's the one for me.
Those Who Wish Me Dead has the rewatchability factor, even though it's really generic. But everything else, not so much. Not so much. But I would say, if I look at the movies, I would say Wrath of Man is the best movie of May.
Yeah, I would say so too.
So yeah, that's it. Next month we're gonna do the same. hopefully in June we're gonna be in the theaters watching movies.
Yeah.
So I do know what is coming out in June.
Conjuring.
Oh, Conjuring, yeah, that's coming out this week. So
Yeah, and Fast Nine.
oh yeah, Fast Nine. Okay.
Fast Nine. And then there has to be a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I don't really remember right now what is coming out, but I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of movies in the theaters, hopefully, and on streaming services. I am sure that there's a lot of movies coming out, and we're gonna do the same at the end of June for all the movies and TV shows. Tomorrow we're gonna finish Mayor of Easttown. We are very excited for that.
That's right.
The finale is gonna be out tomorrow. So
That show is so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
watch
watch
it,
that.
everybody.
It's on HBO.
And it keeps getting better, so just stay with it.
And it's also a limited one. It's like what, 6, 7 episodes.
Tomorrow is the seventh
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
tomorrow is the finale, and we are very excited.
Francesco saying that Luca is
Oh
coming out
yeah,
in
I'm
June.
excited for that one. I like the trailers.
I don't know if I am because it's only Disney Plus. I don't know why they don't have faith for it to be in the theater.
I think that the decision for June and July movies on Disney Plus came too early, I would say. I think they decided to have that.
But they could still update it. I think.
I don't know how.
I don't
it
know.
works.
It's weird. It's
weird.
weird to me. Like I want it to be great. Like I love animated movies, but I don't know. I don't know why it's not in the theaters.
I mean, the trailers I really liked. I really liked the trailers, but like you said, it isn't a big confident boost from Disney if they decided to put on Disney Plus. Let me check what movies are coming out.
Yeah, I'm checking it out. Yeah, In the Heights.
In the Heights, I'm very excited for that because I'm a huge fan of musicals. So I'm very. Oh, Space Jam. Oh, that's July.
No, that's July.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for Space Jam too.
Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
Liam Neeson has some new movie, Ice Road. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think there's more. Wait a minute.
There's a new Garfield movie coming out.
Really?
Where is this? Yeah, where is this the first time I'm hearing it? It's like animated.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna check as well. Let's see. Movies, June 2021.
Yeah, F9, Conjuring, and Luca are Peter Rabbit is also.
Yeah, the first Peter Rabbit wasn't bad. So
yeah, it's watchable.
Yeah.
Spirit. That's what you're looking forward to.
What Spirit? Oh yeah,
the horse
animated movie. Yeah, I love the first one because it was one of the first movies I've seen in theaters. So I'm excited for that.
And then Kevin Hart Netflix movie Fatherhood, and then Awake. That we watched the trailer.
Oh yeah,
for that Netflix movie. Yeah.
And also, I mean, A Quiet Place is coming out part 2, so I'm excited for that. Very excited.
Yeah. That's right.
And people are like raving with reviews like it's so good, it's even better than the first one. The first one was my favorite movie of that year, so I'm very excited for that. Let me check June. What, 9 days? Oh, I've heard about that. 9 days, like Winston Duke.
But that's not gonna be.
Yeah,
or if it's coming on digital, then maybe. But...
The Conjuring. I don't know if this thing is coming out. Samaritan, Sylvester Stallone's new movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Infinite, we've seen the trailer.
That's right, Infinite, yeah.
The new Amazon Prime movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Paramount Plus.
Oh, Paramount Plus. I'm sorry. That is coming out. What else? In the Heights, we said that. The Hitman's Wild, Luca, Fatherhood, F9. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Isn't the Cinderella movie with?
No. I think they moved that for a lot of months.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I see here Zola, the new A24 movie.
Oh, that's in June?
Yeah, it says June 30th.
Oh, Suicide Squad is in August.
It's in August, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure that at the end of June we're gonna have at least 10 movies again to review. Hopefully you're
Yeah,
gonna
and
tune in.
the stuff is gonna come on digital.
I mean, yeah,
so
on
we'll
Netflix,
watch that.
Amazon.
And we have to catch up with that Matt Mikkelsen movie.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah,
watch that one, and there are some other ones that we still haven't seen.
and also we're gonna have some shows to talk about, like Mare of Easttown, and probably there's gonna be
Loki.
We're gonna talk about Loki, even though the finale of Loki is in July, so we're gonna probably talk about that in July's stream. But like I said, the streams for Loki are gonna be happening. Hopefully, we're gonna be both on the stream. If not, it's gonna be just me. But we are gonna try to find like a way to be both on the stream, because it's much more interesting to have a conversation with somebody, not just my face. It's not that interesting. So yeah, the next week is the first Loki episode coming out.
Yeah.
So in a week you can expect, but it's gonna be on Wednesday, because they changed the date because of Black Widow, because Black Widow is coming out July 9th, and they didn't wanna like cross over.
It would be weird, on
it
the
would
same
be,
day.
It would be weird. But yeah, now like the summer movie time is officially on. Even though it's been
Yeah,
a while.
but I think that the movie summer begins in May, so
Yeah,
it's
but
been a month.
because the theaters haven't been open, I would
That's
say
right.
that now, kind of when the theaters are gonna be open worldwide, hopefully, it seems like we're gonna open them quite soon. So I'm very excited to watch movies in the theaters. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all in the chat for talking with us. If you have anything else to say, let us know, of course. Next week, Loki streams on Wednesday, probably 8 p.m. Central European time. If there's going to be any changes, I'm going to let you know. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you, Matis, for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And we see you next time. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.